Welcome to another episode of the Trauma Unit Podcast. I'm your host, John.
And I'm your co-host, Rick Rock, Stacks on Deck. Feel me? How you doing today, man? You good?
I'm doing great.
You
I
good?
can't really complain.
Okay.
Glad to have you guys in the mix with us. And we are going to talk about a couple of subjects that are on the pressing dock.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yes.
let me start off by saying, how are you feeling today?
Oh, man, like, I'm in a good place, man. I'm in a good place. My sister just got married, man, so I spent the weekend going to, be a part of that celebration of life. And I'm just on the cloud, man. I'm on cloud 9 right now. How about yourself? Yeah.
No, I'm actually feeling good. I'm
100% healthy.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling better.
Yeah.
I was having some stomach issues, but I'm glad I pressed through, and I'm starting to try to figure out new ways I can change my diet.
Yeah, my boy was on on his last leg.
Yeah, man.
So you're dying in these COVID streets.
So I'm actually glad to be progressing through that
Okay.
making changes. So, all right. So I'll go into our first topic, which is
First topic.
with the sudden spike with COVID.
It is a COVID topic.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with that.
Okay.
Being that they are talking about another possible shut-in, that we will be locked in the house for another 2 months.
Boom.
You know what I mean? I can't fathom, doing that again.
Hey, let me tell you, man.
And now it's like with the unemployment getting ready to stop.
That
adding
$600
the
buckaroo is no more.
$600, I feel like it's going to be a little bit more chaotic, and the government not having solutions, which is going to create trauma for the community, because everybody's going to be rushing to buy supplies, and nobody's going to have the money that they once had before, because not everybody is afforded the ability to save and the ability to travel, you know what I mean, because things haven't gotten cheaper. Rent is still the same. Bills are still the same. Gas is still the same.
Changed.
Car insurance is still the same. So,
And COVID rates are spiking.
Yeah.
Especially here in California. People are getting sicker. People are dying. And the age range, I heard, has transitioned.
Yes. To 19 to 30.
19 to 30.
So actually, we
right
are
on
the target.
cusp.
Yeah, we're the actual target range of the
COVID right now.
So, it went from elderly to actually younger people. So it's like we're actually in trouble.
Yeah. Well,
So, how do you feel about the government's response?
Well, first off, let me say the last couple months we've had this COVID shut-in, stay in place, whatever you want to call it, order has been difficult, I think, for everyone. First off, let me say my dick been dry. We're gonna put that out there. I know if I've been dry.
Oh, God.
Boy, the single life is tough.
I know, I can only imagine.
Now, but beyond and besides that, I think it's just good really for the social aspect, to just be able to be around other people, man, to be able to converse and talk and build and create relationships. All of that is tough when you have a platform of, just your phone. It's
Right.
like I gotta be in the presence.
Right.
I gotta see beautiful sisters. You know what I mean? I gotta see my beautiful brothers. Everybody just in cohesion, building and talking and fostering healthy relationships.
Yeah, so you tend to more associate with having tangible relationships rather than relationships that are over the phone.
I need to
and not
feel it.
Yeah, it has to be a physical
I need
relationship.
to touch it. I need to see it. I need to be able to grab the pussy if I need to.
Oh boy,
Like
grab
Donald
life by the pussy like Donald Trump.
No. I'm just playing, folks. But seriously, there's a level of intimacy and in a friendship and in a relationship that you don't get right now in these COVID times, and that's gonna be trouble
going down
if we continue.
Yeah, because people aren't gonna have children. People aren't gonna foster new bonds. There's a lot of things that are gonna take a hit.
Your
you know, with the lack of
stability.
intimacy and the lack of trust that is going on. You know, nobody's actually taking the time to build and trust strangers based on the fact that they can give you a disease you can't see.
Right.
And it's almost like the AIDS epidemic. If you really start to think about it, you know what I mean? It's just another form of an unseen attack.
There's almost a tension in the air when you walk into a grocery store,
right?
And you ain't got no mask on.
Oh,
everybody in the grocery store it's almost like that Jim Carrey movie. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Oh, you Truman Show?
The Truman Show. Everybody just look at you all at once.
Cut it out, Leah.
Yeah.
So, I was actually thinking the masks are not essentially the problem, just their functionality. The functionality of the mask is not good at all.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what type of mask wearers have you seen?
Well, I mean, all types.
Have you seen the under the nose?
Yeah, well, you know what? I've been the under the nose because you know what? It's so hard to breathe with those freaking masks on. And I actually have a mask that, you know, has a ventilator on there, you know, where I can actually breathe better, but still, you know, being that I got asthma, it's difficult to breathe with the mask on no matter what. Right. And I think if they actually had a plastic film where you could actually see the mouth, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think it would be a lot better for the society. I hopefully people create that very soon, because we're headed towards a point where the masks are getting ready to work against us rather than for us, being in the colored community. So, have you been building your brand, and how have you been trying to focus on building in general, or refocusing your thought process during this time?
Yeah, well, are you pertaining to like what have I been doing with
my
time?
As far as your time.
I would say about 60% to 70% of my time has been spent in a self-care routine. Mm-hmm. That self-care routine includes working out. It includes nutrition, changing up my diet. It includes playing video games as a de-stressor. Massages, personal massages at the house, meditation.
Yeah, that's great.
Some coaching. You know, I actually got some neighbors, some kids that are learning how to box, and I'm coaching them on how to box. And then I'd say the other 30% is focused on business. 30% is focused on business. Seeing my business move forward in every facet, trying to troubleshoot, you know, issues,
right?
Because they arise, man, and it's not about, you know, them arising. It's how you respond.
Truly,
in every situation, and I've come up against some
adversity,
brick walls. Come up against what are those called? The Japanese sumo wrestlers. I've come up against a sumo wrestler, bro, and I don't know if y'all know, but your boy 5'2", 130 pounds, bro.
You're giving it all you got to do.
Giving it all I got.
Yeah, I've been actually focusing on building the brand as far as the Trauma Unit podcast. Just starting to put, you know, feelings, emotions in the air and having people connect with it. So many people that I haven't connected with in a long time. I'm actually able to reach out through the podcast and just, you know, have a conversation, you know, with each other, you know, so they can connect to something, because, you know, I haven't been tangible for a lot of people, so I just...
Nigga said I've been MIA.
I've been in the house.
Absolutely.
So, you know...
Where you at? In the house. Where you at?
In the house.
What you doing? Nigga, where you at? In the house.
That sounds like that one show by LL Cool J. In the house. So how do you feel about social distancing, and does race have a huge effect on the mindset of social distancing? Because I've been experiencing a lot of trouble with people not respecting my personal space as far as when I go shopping. But I went to the bowling alley and they actually had it really social distance well. So it was actually pretty good. But
they let me just start the first part, the social distancing. I've seen restaurants are actually now putting up those plastic dividers.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that or not in the restaurants. But they got a couple restaurants downtown Sacramento, a couple in Elk Grove that are setting up the partitions, for the rooms, and I think that's pretty cool. As far as the race is considered, man, I'm gonna keep it a bam with you. I think African Americans are actually doing very well at respecting it, as far as face coverings and actually being properly protected when going out into the public. Now, what I've seen from the counterparts, QKA, aka Caucasians, it's been tough.
Right.
I've seen a lot of them, if they're not required to, not wearing masks, man. And I actually just went to the beach, and I was masked up at the beach, and at what is it, Huntington Beach?
Yeah, I've never.
Out in LA, and the entire beach was nothing but Caucasian people, white folks.
That's crazy.
And nobody had on the mask. So, it's like, this pandemic is spreading, and there's sort of a naivety in certain communities.
Yeah, that they can't catch it.
Yeah, if they're not
that
susceptible
is fake.
or
Right.
privy to it.
Honestly, I think if they actually show people catching the disease in your home city,
yes,
and what it looks like to catch the disease in Sacramento, I think the news has done a terrible job of showing disease in Sacramento. Right. I think they've shown like disease as far as numbers,
statistics.
No, but in other states they show New York all the time.
Yeah.
They don't really show Sacramento. So it's really just getting to a point where to go in the stores, I think they're gonna start forcing vaccinations and tests. Because
like you're gonna have to have a record.
You're gonna have to have a clean record, to show
a clean bill of health.
Because you gotta understand, checking your temperature is almost like a fucking violation of your rights.
Yeah,
it feels like because are they cleaning those things as they checked multiple temperatures as people going in? I haven't been seeing them sanitize the equipment. And is it one time only use, or is it like you guys are gonna use this equipment for days on? Are you guys gonna switch it out? And I haven't seen them really go to the point where they're switching stuff in and out. Right. So it's like, and for people to require to work, you have to take the test, and people aren't really qualified to even.
What test is this? Wait,
this is like the nose swab.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're requiring
people. You gotta
people
get tested for COVID
to get
if you're working.
If you're working.
Hey, shout out to the unemployment. The brothers on
unemployment.
Yeah.
You know what? The unemployment I think is gonna.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to get swab tested every day.
And I don't recommend anybody actually getting a test unless you're experiencing symptoms that need dramatic help, and if you're not,
just to think about the biological tracking, your DNA.
I'm just saying it's gonna get to a point where once you test, they're gonna start coming to your house to check on you
every day. You gotta give up that information. You gotta submit it, your name, address, phone number,
that's a trauma in itself.
It is. Ooh.
Yeah, because we're getting to that point.
Right.
We're getting to that point.
Forced vaccinations. You brought up a good point when you said that. I don't know how comfortable I would feel in this time frame getting a vaccination and having it be a requirement.
So this concludes our third episode of the Trauma Unit Podcast.
We can't go no more.
We'll get back to you.
Farewell.
Farewell. Goodbye.
We have got to.